All right, do the countdown because we are live. 60 seconds, 59, 58. No, we are live right now. 0 seconds to go. It is Layer 1 Live. We are coming at you hot with the latest from around the cryptocurrency industry. Appreciate everybody showing up here in the chat. Shout out to the NFT Army. Shout out to XWOW. Who else we got? Asmodi, Easy and Crypto. We're about to have ourselves a little bit of a day here. So glad you could join us on this Monday evening. And we will get ready to go here. What's going on, my man Buff?
It is the third Monday of 2021. There's only 2 more days till the Buffalo turns 37. Bitcoin is hovering around 35,928. I don't know how I know exactly that. Chrome widgets come in handy. Man, this is great. Let's get this week going. I'm ready.
Absolutely. And Buff actually migrated. It looks like there was a Buffalo migration to a better part of LADZ City. It looks like you're in, Chinatown there? It looks like you're in a good spot.
It's the red light district. It's a little better than the ghetto. There's not a lot of like street signs though. So miss, you might want to get out of the. She's just standing in the road. I've been trying to get her out of the road for a while now, but classy little area. It's a move up. It's a step up.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So we are coming live from LADZ City. Again, we appreciate you guys showing up. Thank you for all the commenters, and we will get this show on the road on the show, and then we will roll. So we've got a couple LADZ pieces to get to. Obviously, again, guys, Layer 1 Live, we're bringing you the news from this past week. If you're showing up or after this episode is live, then you can use the links. You can use all of the timestamps to actually get to the news stories. We are going to hit some LADZ news, though, first. I want to give a quick shout out to Kieran. Kieran messaged in the Discord chat in LADZ City last night that he was traveling and had some I guess, problems finding lodging there for a little while. So I want to give a shout out. Hopefully he's doing good. I think he said he was able to find a hotel on his journeys, but in his travel, I guess he was having some issues last night. So want to give a quick shout out to Kieran. Hopefully he is doing well in that hotel. Also, Simba, EOD, and Crypto Brandon are our new nobles from this past week. What do you got to think about that, Buff?
Hey, I'm proud of y'all. Moving on up to the Noble. I'm wondering where you go from Noble. I mean, you got Miner, of course. Miners and Nobles are right there neck and neck. But what's next after that?
I don't know. I think we're gonna.
I don't think anybody does.
Yeah, I think we're gonna keep that under wraps for now. But yeah, definitely, there will be some things happening past that Noble roll. A lot of things coming from LADZ. I think the first 2 weeks of this year, we were really looking to get our feet up and under us and get this machine rolling again. That was happening near the end of November and early December before the holidays hit. So a lot of updates coming. I know we had some questions in Initiate Landing about our roadmap for 2021 and what we're putting out. So a lot of cool things the team is working on. We got a lot of things in the hopper there that you guys are going to hear about relatively shortly. But the things that we're going to touch on right now are a quick recap from this past week. Buff's going to hit the recap, and then we're going to get into the upcoming schedule for you guys.
Yeah, last week we had a great week. We had Layer 1 on Monday, like we're doing right now. Wednesday we had NFT Live, followed by LADZ Radio, where we had a nice groovy collection of awesome lads coming to hang out with me while I played some music. Did a second edition starter pack auction in LADZ that I think went for around 700, 800 LADZ. And then Friday we had another Layer 1, followed by game nights, where the Buffalo got dominated once again. Not as bad as last time. The game has changed. We were playing Blankos 2 weeks ago, and last week we were playing... What was the name of the game?
Valorant. We played Valorant.
Valorant. Yeah, that was a struggle for me, but I got a couple of kills in there. I didn't get ghosted on that one, but yeah, definitely Q and Prodigy were stepping up their game there. Maybe showing off a little bit on the potential those guys have compared to me, but man, you guys are doing great. This week will be a different game. We do not know yet exactly what the game will be, but on Friday will be game night, and then on Saturday we've got LADZ Poker. Is that right, Q?
LADZ Poker, and I want to give a quick shout out to XWOW, who's heading that up. He's got everything coming. There's a couple different announcements that he's going to make over this week, mostly talking about NFT drops, right? So he's going out to these different NFT projects, and he's been able to wrangle away some NFTs from some of these projects for rewards for LADZ Poker. So a lot of different things happening. Obviously, I think Easy's talking about Easy Street coming to LADZ City soon. So game night, we've got poker night, we've got Easy Street, all are happening here in LADZ City, man. It's really popping up. A lot of different things are happening. So that's partly some of the things that we've been working on, right? Is making sure that these events are seamless and are happening so that you can, take part during the week, man.
Totally. And then, of course, the rewards are going to be very unique, like you were just saying with XPOW, working with a lot of different groups to bring some NFTs on there. So last week, we had Van City show up on NFT Live, and they rewarded some of the lads. What exactly did Van City do?
Yeah, Van City had their second series drop. So they were able to, of the first 25 that responded in the Discord, I think 25 members only about 18 reached out after with their address. I kind of posted in the chat. 18 guys got some poster stickers that eventually were used to then drop specific assets that are being used for the gamification in LADZ City. So, or in Van City, actually, the city far away from us, not near here, because we don't want to deal with those zombies. So we ended up dropping Van City NFTs, and then Steph airdropped another to those that were holding that. So for those of you that maybe should have gotten some of those NFTs in that 25 member post and didn't reach out now. I have some to give you, but without you reaching out, I don't know if you're gonna get it. So I don't have your address. Where am I sending that to?
Just guess. Put a random address in there. And then let's see, what else do we got here? So LADZ Radio on Wednesday is going to be a special one, you guys, because I'm turning 37 years old that day. And so I'll be doing a LADZ Radio, trying to get just a good birthday love, man. Everybody just come on in together. Everybody hang out and celebrate. And we'll also do an auction. And then I'm also, at the same time that I'm streaming into LADZ City, I'm going to be streaming into the Clubhouse, which is an app that Ronan, Q, and myself and a couple other lads have been dabbling in, and it'll be the first time that I've been streaming in multiple places at the same time. So I'll test that one out. It might blow up in my face, but it's okay. I'll give it a try and see how that goes, and it should be a fun one.
I feel like there's people out there that don't know the power of Clubhouse. And what is the power of Clubhouse? You've been in there, you've seen people that really want to get involved in crypto. What is the power of Clubhouse, and why are you being so specific about wanting to get in there?
What I think of it is, with the Discord, if everybody is coming to LADZ City in the Discord and you've realized we've got the lounge, right? So when you jump into the lounge, you could see myself there with Q and maybe a Loadmaster or Llama or Fishy, just chatting it up, right? And then you could jump into that conversation. All you have to do is unmute yourself. Well, it's kind of the same setup in Clubhouse, but with Clubhouse, you can have people from all over the world popping in. And there's two sections to it. You have kind of the stage where people are brought up to that can unmute and mute themselves. And then you have everybody else who's just listening in. Kind of like LADZ Radio, where everyone comes in and they're muted, and then I unmute them to have a conversation. So this is on a scale where you don't know who's going to show up. Could be a CEO. Satoshi Nakamoto could show up in there. You have no idea who's in there listening in. And it's just really cool because you don't know what conversations are going to happen. Nothing's being recorded. And this would be the first time where I'd be streaming at multiple locations and just doing LADZ Radio in there. So who knows, maybe I'll run into some kind of copyright issues playing some streaming music or whatnot, but definitely going to give it a try. But if you do have an iOS device, I highly recommend you download Clubhouse and give it a whirl.
Absolutely, man. And I think we have some invites to give out. You obviously need a phone number if you want to sign up. Maybe that's not too obvious. So that you actually need to get a specific invite from someone already using the app, which is important. So head into main chat in LADZ City and see if you can't get connected with someone that's already inside the app. So shout out to the guys that are in the chat right now. We got Loadmaster in the chat. Apparently they're running a mission that we don't know about. We don't know the exact details, but hopefully you guys are lucky in the NFT army and you kind of work that out there. Thomas Erickson saying Satoshi is dead. Craig Wright killed him. It looks like Asmodi is asking about my trousers, like I am the beard or something. We'll see. Who else do we have in here? Brian Zator, how's the LADZ poker run? What's staked LADZ? So LADZ poker, you can actually go in, if you are a Guardian, I believe you can head into LADZ District or the Gaming District and check out the Poker Night channel. You will be able to see the channel as well if you are a Nomad or Recruit. Basically, the way it's going to work is if you hit a certain rank, you can actually get invited to the club in this app that we are using to host a poker night. So you need a LADZ rank. You cannot be an initiate. And then that's pretty much it for now. We'll kind of experiment as we go forward with how we want to run the rules. But right now, you just need a rank in LADZ City. And you need to, download the app and join the club. You can head on over to the Poker Night channel, like I said, express your interest to XPOW, and he will get you set up. So again, shout out to him for getting that set up for the guys. Other than that, I think we can get going I don't know if did we hit everything for the week. So we have NFT Live, we have Buffalo's birthday, and we have LADZ Radio on Wednesday. But Friday night we have another Layer 1 Live and LADZ Game Night, which we're trying to still figure out the game. So
Exactly. Yeah, let's get this show on the road or road on the show. But there is one thing that I want to tell you guys right now. I'm a little embarrassed about, but I have to tell you guys, I messed up a little bit this weekend. I did a little bit of an amateur hour kind of a move where I was moving some funds from Coinbase to KuCoin. Just a little bit of Ethereum, nothing big. And I was about to go walk Mr. Bear, my dog, and I had everything lined up, the right information. And right as I was about to hit send, instead of copying the address from KuCoin and pasting it into Coinbase, it auto-populated my saved address in KuCoin. So instead of pasting the new address that I thought was there, I took the old address that was saved in Coinbase. And people do this all the time. If you're doing a lot of transactions, you usually save the address. I don't ever recommend you do that ever again, because what happened was when the old Buffalo sent the Ethereum to KuCoin, went and walked Mr. Bear, came back about 35 minutes later, looked and was like, hey, why haven't I gotten an alert yet about my Ethereum transaction? Well, what happened was KuCoin got that hack a couple months back, and they ended up changing all the addresses. So your Ethereum address that used to be was now a new address. They even give you a little warning. I skimmed through that warning thinking it was just a warning that says make sure to send only Ethereum to this address. It looks the same warning. Read everything, you guys, before you do any transaction, whether it be $1 or $1,000. Just make sure you go through that and always grab the address that you are sending to, copy that, and then paste it in. Do not save previous addresses, because if the exchanges or any place changes that address, you're sending to an old address that you're not going to be able to get back. So I freaked out a little bit. I went on LADZ City, literally looked for anybody to talk to. Luckily, Llama was there. We chatted a little bit. I then started reading into forums about people that did the same thing as me. And luckily, KuCoin, essentially what they did is put a 12-hour hold on that and then moved it to my new address. So I was able to access the funds. Crisis averted a little bit, but the old Buffalo did something stupid, and I don't want any other lad to do that ever again. So let me fail for you, and make sure that if you are sending funds, copy the address to that location you are sending to and paste it in. Do not save old addresses and auto-populate them, because you don't know for sure if that's the same address still. So there you go. Avoid that, please.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, in Clubhouse specifically, there have been new people kind of coming in. And I think it's funny, man, because I definitely am on one side where I'm like, let's onboard them in a way that they want to be onboarded. Let's not make them go through like 18,000 hoops, set up a private key, do all this stuff. Because if you're having the issue, Buff, you know that maybe some other new members are having the same issue. So it definitely is kind of a double-edged sword there. I mean, it's awesome to, have your keys, have your crypto, but on the other hand, it's your responsibility and yours alone. So appreciate you sharing that story, man.
Yeah, that's a good point too, because that was my first mistake in crypto since summer of 2017. And essentially what it was doing was it was lulling me into a sense of, oh, everything is set. I've done this all a million times, so there's no real reason for me to read everything on, the transaction form. No, every time, whatever your transaction doing, you are responsible for your money. There is a shift going on, you guys. With crypto, it is saying you are your banker. There's nobody else covering your ass. You are in charge of your money, and you need to start taking that mentality. And again, I'm talking to myself here because I'm embarrassed about doing it. So hopefully none of you guys have ever had that problem, and every transaction you guys do, triple check it, and then triple check it again. So there you go.
Awesome, man. Easy's in the house saying he needs to send some feathers from Binance over to Blockdo. And then he said feather is not a feather, it's a tether. So good luck sending those feathers into Blockdo. I think he's talking about the Flow network. We are going to, for like the third consecutive week, be talking about Flow later in the episode. So definitely some good insight there from Buffalo. Make sure you guys are protecting yourselves. Make sure you guys are checking and rechecking those addresses. I think there was like a $1 billion send for like $7 last week that was happening. So shout out to everybody. Looks like Orlando's in the house. I think Orlando made himself a pretty penny there on NBA TopShot as well recently. So shout out to everybody in the house. I think we're going to get this episode started, guys. Again, all-time high 108. So if we hit 108, we are going to be dropping double rewards here. It looks like we have 50 in the house right now. So definitely get the word out. Like, comment, and subscribe if you are brand new. You will be earning our social currency token that you can then use inside of our community for all the different things that we're doing, all the different things that are coming in 2021. So without further ado, I think that was a good intro from us, Buff. I think
bad.
you did a pretty good job there. Okay, so
thanks, you too.
awesome, man. So Bitcoin. Also, guys, me and Buff don't see each other. We're gonna set up VMix this week. We're gonna get ourselves in there in the house, but we're in LADZ City. Obviously, you can see it, but we can't see each other. So I want to be where Buff is comparatively, to be honest.
Are you street level right now? I get a sense you're more down. Before you were on the top in that like Sky Lounge. Those are my favorites. Whereabouts are you in LADZ City right now?
I'm like near the gaming district. I stopped by the social district for a little while, but I made my way over to the gaming district. I think Prodigy was calling me over, and I got caught up because I wanted to host Layer 1 Live.
It happens. The gaming district right now, they're building the LADZ gaming arena, correct?
I listen, too much stuff going on. There's there's cranes everywhere. I really just can't even see what's going on in that area.
Hard hat area, man. Be safe.
Okay, awesome. Last shout out to everyone that's following us. It looks like GB's in the house as well. Bait Shop Billy said I had a bad poker face, so we will see who wins. Although I guess you're not going to be able to see me when we're playing online poker. So without further ado, we will hit the first story. It is Chainlink. And Chainlink has been outside of the news for a little while here, but it did have a good little piece of pickup here over the last, I would say, 48 hours. I can pull this up on the screen as well. I think it's still up 30% on a 7-day timeline. It had a really quick pullback. So we saw a all-time high actually at 22. It's now trading around 21. But Chainlink is interesting because it has this huge Link Marine army. I think they definitely become a little bit incessant over time. But the idea of having oracles for DeFi products is important. So we probably will see Chainlink be a major player. There was a couple of announcements that might have led to this pump, but maybe it's part of a bigger alt season run. Do you have any thoughts on that, Buff, while I get that story that might have pumped it?
For sure, man. We can talk about the stinky Linky. When COVID hit, Link was the number one that I was looking at and literally was watching it going, come on, get down under $1, get down under $1. And I think it got as low as $1.75, maybe a little lower. And I went in a little bit, and then I got sidetracked with VeChain and a lot of other smaller coins that, long-term plays. But stinky Linky, man, I really wish I listened to the Marines there. There's some videos that cracked me up when I was watching it, and I was like, man, Chainlink is going to pop off. And so it's nice to see it this year. I remember I was playing the Half-Life mod World War II, Day of Defeat. And I was playing in Day of Defeat, and I was just playing a little match there, and I walked by somebody spray painted Chainlink on the side of a wall. And I remember I screen grabbed it, and I was like, this is a sign. I need to go in on some Chainlink. And I just loved it, how I was suddenly seeing Chainlink in games while I was playing. But again, I don't own any Link right now, so I guess I missed the boat.
Yeah, you could say that for a lot of tokens. I mean, CoinGecko breaks my heart at this point. I mean, between Aave, Synthetix, which we'll get to later, Chainlink, there's so many opportunities to do really well if you kind of have your ear to the ground and you catch the narrative wave. Chainlink's running on this narrative wave, right, of being decentralized oracles for DeFi products. I mean, if that continues and we see, I don't see a real stop to DeFi innovation, you're going to need secure oracles to run those price feeds. So unless a competitor comes around, Chainlink is doing, and there are a few actually, but Chainlink seems to have that first mover advantage. I think it can get a little memey here or there with the Link Marines. I haven't heard it called Stinky Linky up to this point, so I doubt the Link Marines will like that. But it might, this recent push, although it probably is more of like an overall alt season feel and why it may be pumped. There was an announcement about Waves introducing Chainlink oracles into their product for Neutrino USD. So there was some different things that happened, mainly this announcement that Waves was going to be using this for their product. As I believe there's like a bridge system here between Waves and Ethereum. So using Chainlink, obviously that's a classic move by a lot of people, but it's necessary. You need to have good oracles. A lot of the exploits that happened this summer were because people were using quote unquote janky oracles. So definitely shout out to Chainlink there. That was a good first piece. It's sitting around $22 there. So This is a good piece of news. Next, we got Metamask coming through. Shout out to Llama for dropping this in the chat. It looks like Consensus is announcing that Metamask is launching a institution tool. So obviously a lot of retail investors like me and yourself are using MetaMask all of the time to send, buy, sell, and be able to, kind of use these tools. But it looks like MetaMask for institutions, which will provide, as you can see here, enterprise-grade security, operational, and reporting features for institutional finance. I mean, not much is built out here. They have an application, but it looks like MetaMask is building out their services to have people, storing hundreds, 200s, 300, lots of money there on the MetaMask tool.
Shout out to Llama. That's one thing that I love that you just brought up there, is that was a lad that brought us information for Layer 1 show. So a lot of the, as we move forward throughout the week, if you guys have information, alpha information, anything that you feel like we're not touching on, reach out to us. Let us know, man. We'll definitely give you a shout out for bringing it up to us, just like Llama did right there. And I definitely got to play Llama's little clip here.
But that llama you're looking at was once a human being.
Llama, thank you so much. He was once a human being. No, he's still a human being in our hearts. All right, so we got some comments, and that's something I want to keep up with as we go throughout the episode. Dab Dragon is in the house, so shout out to Dab Dragon. Thank you for showing up here. He's saying thumbs up, so yes, smash the likes. It looks like Cryptocurrent is saying number 2 coming up, Dot, get it. So it looks like we have a Dot fan in the house. Yeah, we talked about Polkadot right before the episode. Definitely, again, when you're talking crypto, you're talking about narratives. Polkadot has it. So, scalable Ethereum, you don't have maybe the wrath of the Ethereum community necessarily pointed at Polkadot, as opposed to some of the other competitors that are trying to produce scalable protocols. So Solana's another one. We'll see where alt season goes. That's what we had on the thumbnail. Is this alt season? That's one of the questions that we wanted to have with you guys here. This is obviously not investment advice on this channel. Nothing ever is. It'll be interesting to see whether, as Bitcoin kind of ranges between 35 and about 37, I think it's been ranging there for a couple days, whether that does flow into alts. We've seen that with Aave. We've seen that with Synthetix. There's a lot of different altcoins that are popping off here, specifically around DeFi and specifically around the ones that hold the good narrative, but the ones that hold the good narrative that are providing scaling for Ethereum. So let us know if you think this is a alt season coming up, or are we due for a pullback, man? Anything from you, Buff?
Yeah, I'll talk about Polkadot a little bit, because I definitely feel that FOMO of, I didn't even look into Polkadot. And I'll give you a straight reason why. I was like, Polkadot, I can't look into something like that. That's a crazy name. And it's the exact opposite of what I did in 2017, where I came across a token called Ant Shares, which then rebranded to Neo, which is doing all right. It's top 25, I think. And at that time, it was around $3 and shot up to $170, I think, during the all-time pump there in 2017. So another caution thing, don't do what the Buffalo does. Look into everything that is definitely showing potential, whether it's called Polkadot or any BD. I don't even know. I got nothing. It was something random, whatever. Just
listen,
look into it, all right?
I was going to poke holes in your theory here, but out of Polkadot, out of the entire top 50 that I'm looking at here, nothing stands out like Polkadot when it comes to like being a weird ass name. I was going to poke holes in that theory, but there isn't a lot of like weird ass names here. We are going down a full on rabbit hole at this point. So yeah, definitely do not base your investment decisions on the name. Yeah. You learned it here first.
Yeah, so, you learned it from the Buffalo.
So 67 in the chat. It looks like Fleety is saying not alt season, but on the way for sure. I'm sure there are a lot of people that feel the same way there. We'll see what happens here. Usually you have, I think RT was on the channel talking on Friday about usually February being a pretty big month for on historical timelines for pumps and things like this. So there's definitely some precedent on a timeline perspective. I don't know what that is as far as like what's going to come up here in February. Obviously, like you're just guessing at this point. But if there's historical precedents, it'll be interesting to see how February plays out.
Yeah, I noticed that the fear and greed index last month was at 93. I think it got all the way to like 98 or 97. Right now it's sitting at 79. So there has definitely been a sentiment of pullback, in the sense where People aren't as greedy right now. They're kind of hesitant. What's going to happen, in 2 days, new president, and all this in this country. But overall, I do feel like we're at a crossroad right now. Are we going to go up, up, and away, or are we going to pull back and kind of, see where we're at with that?
I'm going to pull up something I saw in a Telegram group. I'm going to see if I can't give away my Telegram messages here. Please, sir. Okay, Telegram is completely bugging on me. Sorry, guys, there for a second. Hopefully, we're still live. The interesting play with Polkadot is that it's a parachain system, right? You're looking for different decentralized applications. That might be where the outsized returns are. Not necessarily, just like you see on Ethereum, right? Ethereum obviously had outsized gains, but it's also the protocols that are building on top of Ethereum. So keep an eye out for that ecosystem. I'm going to look to see. There was one that launched recently that I was made aware of. Let's see if I can't find it. If you have any filler now.
Are you talking about on Polkadot?
Yes, on Polkadot.
Yeah, I think I almost know exactly what you're talking about. I did watch a couple of videos this weekend about Polkadot and Kusama, right? Which is essentially, is that what you were thinking?
No, Kusama's been around for a minute and they're awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, and so they're starting to take off. I mean, they're up 92% in the last 7 days. So as Polkadot is moving, all the other projects on Polkadot are growing as well. And so that whole ecosystem, as it scales, is what I saw in 2017 with Ethereum. Anything built on Ethereum, if you were able to get in early, you're going to be well off. That's kind of where I look at with VeChain. It's definitely slower moving. It's a bigger project in the sense of supply chain industry. But a lot of the projects that are coming on this year, I'm going to try to be in early on. And so I actually this weekend looked into Polkadot and looked into a lot of the projects on there. And Kusama essentially being the trial where you go in there as an incubator almost to come onto the Polkadot where you try everything out is going to be pretty massive. So got to do some more research on my end before I kind of put in any positions. Don't know if the entry point's right now as things have already popped off. But that model of looking at something like Polkadot, which is already massive in his top four, things are going to be built on that. So if you start paying attention to what's coming, and if that's something that is a project that would work in almost any space, look into it. Try to get in early. Not financial advice.
Holy crap.
Oh, yeah, what you got?
Kusama did 10, is that 10,000% gains? My God. Yeah. Kusama a little while ago when Polkadot hadn't actually released and it was still in its like building up the infrastructure phase as well as like not even live on mainnet. Kusama was this area, like you said, to kind of host different upgrades. It was a Canary testnet network. So yeah, tough for me to say like let's get in on a pump that large. I don't know if you see it on the screen, but good Lord, yeah, early Kusama supporters. The token ticker I was looking at that just launched was ToastDis. I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. DeFi as a service. Ticker is money sign DIS. Again, not investment advice. I'm going to drop it in the chat. This was the token that I believe was doing a raise here shortly. It was doing it's a sale on Polkadot, and I believe that happened a couple days ago, so I'm sure that'll go live here shortly. Maybe it's already going live, but definitely one to keep an eye on. I haven't obviously got into that at all, but we were down a big Polkadot rabbit hole there. So interesting stuff. Whoever got into Kusama at $6, awesome for you.
Ooh. Wow, well done.
Well done. Let's see. Let's check the comments out here. It looks like Simba is asking if you could kind of display any of your VeChain ventures sometimes.
Oh, don't get me started on VeChain, man. My V fam here. So interesting that you brought that up because I'm looking over here right now. VeChain essentially hitting all-time highs at 3 cents. When COVID hit, there was a massive pullback. Everybody was waiting for things to start picking up. One of the first alts that started to really rocket was VeChain, and everyone said VeChain kind of set that alt recovery mode. As it started to pop, and then everything else started following suit. Now, that's only because I probably was following it, so there's probably other coins doing the same thing at the same time that I just wasn't aware of. But right now, seeing VeChain go gives me a sense maybe altcoin season's here. I don't know. Or maybe this is a sign that in the next couple of days, everything's coming down. I don't know because I'm long playing VeChain. I have X nodes that hold me in at a certain share. If I drop and remove those shares from the wallet, my X nodes, which were my very first NFTs ever, they burn away. They literally disappear, and I don't get the same increase on my passive returns for the VeTho. VeChain is a huge project that I think has massive potential. Love to do more stories on it. But yeah, keeping an eye on it for me, it's a long-term play. And when I say I'm in it for 4 years, I truly mean that. I know a lot of people say that, but I built around my investment earlier last year when COVID hit for a 4-year play on something that I see massively being adopted with the supply chain industry.
Awesome. Yeah. I guess we could definitely look forward to more VeChain stories from Buffalo. I think he's looking to build out different content on the network. So really cool stuff. Appreciate that story, Buff. We're going to go into the next breaking news here. The last piece, actually, Mt.Gox creditors can claim 90% of Bitcoin left in bankruptcy, Bloomberg. So, or 90% of Bitcoin left in the bankruptcy. All right, so we've got creditors, obviously, that are in a current lawsuit with Mt.Gox. It looks like Mt.Gox is, or more specifically, the trustee unit of Fortress Investment Group will be presented to creditors for a vote. So essentially, investors are going to be able to, choose to settle outside of court. That's going to be in a simple upvote, as you can see here. Creditors of the bankrupt cryptocurrency exchange Mt.Gox will be presented with the option to claim up to 90% of the exchange's remaining Bitcoin. Later on in the article, it's talking about how people don't even know the exact amount of Bitcoin actually left inside of that custody of the exchange, or at least the trustee of that exchange. So there's some interesting stuff here. I think most people are going to go ahead, or at least some people are going to continue to go ahead with the lawsuit. It says investors aren't obligated to take the early payment and can wait for lawsuits against the former exchange to settle. And it looks like CoinLab, for example, is going to continue its litigation. So there's definitely a lot of people that are looking to get BTC out of this. Definitely a story to keep on top of. If that BTC hits the market, it'd be interesting to see if that creates any downward, or they just decide they want to hold. So it could create downward pressure if a bunch of people get their BTC at the same time and want to liquidate. Otherwise, we'll continue to keep an eye out for this story. But shout out to these people. They've been in litigation for like 6 to 7 years. A lot of people having a ton of BTC on that exchange. I know some lads might even have been, part of that hack. So who knows?
Mt.Gox. I didn't think we'd be talking about that anymore.
Yeah, absolutely. So that is the breaking news, guys. We've got some quick news as well. A lot that has happened more recently, but just not recently enough to be added to the breaking news. But Buff, before we get to that, do you want to hit any comments here? I think we got some lads in the chat. They were appreciating your VeChain.
Yeah, we could jump in here. Yeah. I know Baitshot Billy was asking. He says, X nodes suck. LOL, their perks are weak. I know that definitely compared to a lot of perks for like short-term investment. Yeah, I wouldn't recommend going VeChain and setting up X nodes. For me, it was a play not only on just the passive part of it, the 4-year play, but also locking me in. It's almost like a security blanket for my mind to say, I know I'm not going to remove these funds because I have an X node now, that if I do that, there will be repercussions. So that's kind of the play I did on myself, just knowing, how I might FOMO into another project in 6 months after that. You probably hear it from so many people. Yeah, I'm going to hold it for 4 years. It's like, yeah, you hear that from, what are the percentage of people that actually hold for 4 years? I haven't even been in the space yet until 4 years. So it'd take June 8th of this year will be 4 years for me. So that's a long time, but the X node style for me in VeChain was why I went that route. That's not for the perks right away. Although Vulcanverse, which is a metaverse built on VeChain, rewarded all the X node holders with the chance to buy land before anybody else. So that was one of the first major perks of holding X nodes that I hope to see more of on VeChain moving forward.
Absolutely, man. Yeah, we got a lot of good comments. Keep the chat rolling, man. We have a better episode when you guys are involved, and you guys are definitely involved. It looks like I'm going to give a shout out to Cryptocurrent here. You are doing a great job there in the chat. Simba EOD, appreciate your support as well. All the lads are kind of getting after it there in the chat. Give me one quick second, guys. I'm going to... G Suite is playing tricks on me today. All right, so
I'll give some shout outs here to Fishy, man. Appreciate you, Fishy, coming on to Clubhouse yesterday while I was testing out LADZ radio setup in the Clubhouse. Appreciate you, bud.
Awesome. All right, so we've got Alameda Research. Obviously, Sam Bankman-Fried heads up the Alameda Research as well as FTX, and it looks like they're going in heavy on a funding round. $50 million is this funding round. I believe Alameda Research is leading it. So it's not the total 50 million, but they're definitely leading it. Again, Sam Bankman-Fried, having headed up FTX, is a big player in the space, and it looks like a lot of people are going all in on what essentially is like a lifestyle app. So you kind of have a bunch of different things going on within this app. I might be able to pull it up. Let's see. So you can do a bunch of different things with this app, but I can read the description here. Maps.me, an offline mapping application with over 140 million users worldwide, has raised 50 million in funding round led by Alameda Research, a Hong Kong-based investment firm and liquidity provider. Genesis Capital and CMS Holdings also participated. So I'm going to show you the quick like snapshot here. It looks like this app can be used to do a bunch of different things within your life. So it looks like it has a map that allows you to get directions. It has looks like retail spots where you can actually buy different things. It has Airbnb features. So it's interesting. This has like so many different features that it's hard to even talk about it. But it looks like essentially you're being able to integrate a cryptocurrency wallet to all of these things. So for example, you could have this app, it'll take you directions to where you need to go. It will take you to a store that most likely with this app integration can at point of sale have cryptocurrency as a form of payment. And then you can stop by and get a hotel for cryptocurrency as well. So it's interesting, man. I think this is a huge undertaking, but for the most part, what they're trying to do here is bridge DeFi applications into this. So for example, right here, what you have is Maps.me 2.0 comes with a multi-currency wallet that will combine direct hotel bookings and location services with DeFi tools. So it's a lot to break down. So forgive me if kind of having a tough time with that breakdown, but you essentially have the ability to have like an all-in-one app here. That's what it makes it seem like, right. Where you can kind of merge a bank with an app like Venmo. That's kind of the way I'm looking at it.
Yeah, it seems massive. It's like Airbnb and Uber and Maps and Yelp almost in a sense, where if you book and reserve things within their place a review, maybe. I don't know. It seems like everything all in one. Wonder if that they can build it that way.
Yeah, and I'm going to continue to read from the article because these are quotes directly from the team as well. So it includes the possibility, they're talking about the app now, to store value and earn yields of up to 8%, exchange funds with no hidden fees, send money, spend in multiple currencies for cross-border payments. Another option include is cash back on transactions. So an absolutely huge undertaking here, but it reminds me of like a lifestyle app. And the big reason why we added it to this story here today is making DeFi tools maybe more usable, maybe obfuscate all the craziness around DeFi that someone certainly that has no idea about cryptocurrency would not understand. So it will be interesting to see these decentralized financial institutions as we see a lot of self-starter bank stories kind of coming out where the OCC is getting a little bit more lax on people being able to start their own banks. Well, you need this good user-facing applications to be able to do that. So it's this weird stage we're in. We'll see where we head from here, but it looks like financial institutions are becoming a little bit more decentralized and having a lot more user-facing features, man. I don't know. It's crazy.
This is interesting. I'm curious to see how they solve the issue of people not wanting to spend their currency because it's an investment that they know will grow in time. So they need to incentivize a system that makes you want to spend because you're going to yield a better return if you use it and put it in circulation right now. So it's interesting to see how they scale this year and years moving forward.
Absolutely, man. Absolutely. It's great to see them starting that movement, though. Definitely. And obviously Sam Bankman-Fried is an interesting cat in crypto doing some awesome things over at FTX. All right, we got 70 of you guys in the house. It looks like, and I'm going to bring this story up, it's the Uganda Bitcoin trading story. We had a lad in the house, or someone who was just stopping by. If you'd like to be a lad, if you don't know what that all means, we can have Buffalo break that down in a second. But if you want to get more information, you can hop into the Discord link there in the description, and you could head into LADZ City. Basically, that is our community hub, which as you rank up with LADZ tokens, you can get more and more access to, and more utility will come to that. But we had someone stop by, I believe 2 episodes ago, and they were asking about Bitcoin and how Bitcoin would look in some type of post-apocalyptic environment where there is no internet. And then this story kind of came across our desk this morning, right? Or a couple mornings ago. Complete internet shutdown wipes out Uganda Bitcoin trading. So this is one of those interesting kind of thought experiments that we were having, but now it's being played out in real time, where during I guess a political election, Uganda, or the kind of incumbent Ugandan government, shut down the entire internet. And therefore, Bitcoin trading comes to a halt. There's a couple different posts in here, as well as graphics. As you can see, it looks like, let me see if I can't get this. There's a quote here from Kyle Spencer, the head of Uganda Internet Exchange Point, a nonprofit aimed at improving the country's internet connectivity. It looks like when they cut the cord, Uganda was cut off from the world. Domestic internet traffic dropped by 95% in one day, and only a few networks had a pulse, and that comes directly. And as they say in this article, as a side effect, according to the analytics site Useful Tulips, there's been no reported Bitcoin trading activity on peer-to-peer exchanges like local Bitcoins since Jan 14. So this is kind of real life situations playing out of how Bitcoin works in these environments when you don't have internet.
Yeah, and then with different countries regulating, even when you do have internet, what you can do and access, that is one of those layers that's out of our control. That, depending on where you're at in the world, could affect your crypto investment. So that is one there, yeah.
Yeah, Ballas had a really great comment. Uganda needs Starlink ASAP. I know there's a ton of people, including Elon, that are working on basically satellite infrastructure for cell phone and cell kind of data. So that will be an interesting play. I'm sure that will kind of take the inability for people to have internet access during this time. When you have it decentralized, hopefully decentralized, right? That's still kind of at the. I feel like in a way that's still like under centralized control. It's just in a different location. But there's a lot of different things that I'm not privy to that I won't talk on as far as Starlink satellites providing that information. But it looks like a bunch of you guys in the chat know. Cryptocurrency's talking about it. Ballast is talking about it. And so keep me updated, guys. I want to hear more about that. I'm sure. I'm definitely not all knowing as it comes to a lot of this stuff. So would love to hear what you guys have to think about Starlink in the chat. All right, we'll get on to the next story. It looks like Joe Biden is confirming Gary Gensler as USC chair. Obviously, Jay Clayton stepped down recently. So it looks like Joe Biden, in one of his first moves as far as the SEC is concerned, is appointing Gary Gensler. He had spent 20 years at Goldman Sachs in the 80s and 90s before joining the Clinton administration as Assistant Secretary of the Treasury. Some people have come out and said this is pretty positive for crypto adoption, as he is well-versed. He has gone on record and said, as it comes to broad adoption, if we really think the crypto world is going to be part of the future, it needs to come inside a public policy envelope. So take that with what you will, but it seems like this is pretty positive for a Bitcoin ETF, as well as a couple other things, including if you do not like XRP. I believe he is on record saying that XRP is in fact a security.
There you go. Yeah, I wish I had more input in this. When it comes to the political side of all things, I mean, I don't know where Joe Biden stands on crypto and his whole administration. My gut says that they're going to let things keep moving forward. But yeah, we'll see.
Awesome. Okay, it looks like Gensler also taught a course at MIT about how Bitcoin and blockchain can be used in finance. So interesting stuff, man. Jay kind of sat, presided over all of the stuff that happened in 2017 with all these ICOs. So I think the cryptocurrency community is kind of, not appreciative. I would definitely say they're not sad to see him go. So it'll be interesting to see how Gensler steps in here. Okay, I got the next piece of story. Nvidia obviously creates a bunch of video graphics cards, but the GPUs that don't have the video graphics cards in them, they may be starting to create a little bit more, and they may kind of bring these up into their production line if there is demand. So this comes directly, I believe, from their CEO. It looks like Colette Kress said on January 12th, if demand in the cryptocurrency market picks up to meaningful levels, the company could again start selling the specialized cards called CMPs. So, I mean, they definitely get a lot of interest from the gaming community here as it's laid out. But we'll see if they kind of come on and provide those GPUs for Ethereum miners or Bitcoin miners, and we'll definitely see how that goes. So that was the quick news, guys. We hit a lot there, breaking quick. Definitely at the end of that quick news, we were hitting stories that kind of just came across our desks. So would love to get your guys' input on Nvidia as well as what you think about this new appointment here. Let's see. Thomas Erickson saying he stands for stimulus, which means people buying more crypto. Definitely some interesting stuff, man. Awesome.
Yeah. That's interesting with the stimulus too. I actually got one of those little debit cards in the mail for my stimulus, which of course right away I was like, well, I'm gonna put this in crypto. I wonder how many other people do. And there's another interesting thing with back when COVID hit, when everybody got their stimulus check. There's a website out there that will show you if you put your stimulus into Bitcoin, how much you'd have. And it was fun to watch it go. And then when it doubled, and now I would love to find that right now and see where it's at, because yeah, if you put your stimulus into Bitcoin back in, was it May, I think, when they were handing them out, yeah, I think you're doing all right with that one.
Just a tad. I'm sure they saw an increment or incremental in proof of $600 deposits into like Coinbase and things like that. So, all right, guys, we're on to DeFi. We're going to hit NFTs, and then we have one story for social before we end out this episode. So I'm going to pull up Synthetix and Aave. Let me pull up the price first, because I don't know why I do this to myself, but we'll put up the price. Aave was trading somewhere in DeFi, somewhere around $20. I remember getting in on it and trying to figure out if I still kind of wanted to, make the move. So obviously it was trading around $56. This is actually Aave version 2. So obviously Lend, the previous token for the Aave protocol, or ETH Lend, as it was once known, was trading at about $20, I believe 25, and then you can kind of see this run here all the way up to most recently about $200 at all-time highs. So interesting stuff. Aave is completely killing it. I love Stanny over there. They do a lot of really good things. Synthetix is another one. Kane, take your shot if you are waiting for us to mention Kane Warwick on the episode. Synthetix is about the same. You can see a 1,400% increase over the past year. They did the same thing. We see a little bit. Of a dip here in early November, down to 262, and then an absolutely phenomenal increase at 1521 on the backs of that strong DeFi narrative and being a blue chip within that. So I don't know. You got any thoughts on those two prices, Buff, other than congratulations to anyone that's in that?
Yeah, congratulations. I did buy a little Aave. I think it was for Axie Infinity. They were doing a Aave Gachi special or something. And yeah, I only bought like $40 worth.
big players on this episode.
I was like, oh, okay. I missed that one.
You can go get yourself like a Big Mac with cheese with some of those profits, man.
Oh, my God. If I had a Big Mac right now, dude, I haven't had a Big Mac or any McDonald's in years.
Interesting. Okay. All right. Well, we've got Synthetix coming out with their roadmap for 2021. This is a lot to break down, so I'm not really going to take you guys in detail through all of it. It's a very lengthy roadmap here, and I believe Kane himself wrote this out per usual. But we have some high-level priorities here for Synthetix. Optimistic Ethereum, which is a layer 2 scaling solution they're looking to implement along with Chainlink. We mentioned Chainlink earlier. That's basically looking to scale Synthetix out. They don't want to have these situations where, because of the Ethereum network, they're having price oracle issues and different things that can lead to exploits. I know they had some of that happen early or late in 2018, 2019. So definitely some interesting stuff. Synthetix V3 is coming out, as well as governance improvements. We can read into a couple of these different things, but it looks like Synthetix V3 is going to allow them to upgrade while they're going, as opposed to migrating everything all at once. So we can kind of read into this. Synthetix uses an upgraded proxy pattern to enable upgrades that do not require token holders to migrate. And now, while this has significant UX benefits, it means legacy code and contracts can become hard to move. So that means full migrations. Synthetix v3 solves this by requiring each token holder to migrate from the old contracts to the new, enabling us to forego backwards compatibility and redesign everything from scratch. So basically what that means is it's going to put the emphasis on the token holder, but that will allow Synthetix to make more agile upgrades as we go forward. So interesting stuff in the chat here. Easy is talking about a royal with cheese. That's that's the European version of that Big Mac. Can you have a royal with cheese?
A royal with cheese.
So Choina is in the chat here asking if he can post links. I guess the way you're going to have to do that is by posting in main chat in LADZ City. Then I can most likely pull it up. But the way that we have this set up is that there won't be any links dropped by anything other than the channel owner. Okay, so I'll take you through the rest of this. Governance improvements. You have synthetic futures. You have a ton of different things coming in 2021. And it looks like there's new staking mechanisms being rolled out. So, I mean, there's a reason Synthetix is doing really well, and that's because the team is continuously pushing out a crap ton of updates, and you can kind of see here that they've laid out almost all of what they're doing. So let's see if we can get a final here. Let's see if what Kane is saying here. There's still too much to do this year, but it is likely that by the middle of the year, we will be switching into a new mode of operation. Rather than being in infrastructure mode, we will be in user acquisition mode. Ooh. This will require a shift in mindset, but it is critical that the focus of the entire community transitions to growing trading volume through the protocol. I trust all SNX holders will be prepared to make this transition as they have made each previous one as the project has evolved. So, this year we finally take on CFI. Then we come for TradeFi. So, shout out to our man, Kane Warwick. That sounds like really good stuff for Synthetix holders.
I've never heard of CFI before. There's so many FIs now. Oh my gosh.
Centralized finance, trade finance. Bam, bam. Thank you, ma'am. All right, we've got Aavenomics here. So this is a quick update from Aave. It looks like Isa, who is awesome as well as Stanny, they put out a quick update about an upgrade in Q1 for the Aave protocol. I mean, I could read it probably word for word as well, but basically this is like activating slashing and increasing safety incentives. So they're basically improving the infrastructure for Aave. I can read it off here. On January 6th, a new Aave improvement proposal in APE for the that's an awesome name for that. For the Aave quarterly upgrades went to the governance vote, and after a 24-hour validation period, it's been officially executed. APE 7 is officially activates slashing and increases the safety incentives to 550 Aave a day, a 37.5% increase for those that are staking to Aave and helping support that infrastructure. The last thing it says here is APE 7 sets the maximum slashing amount to 30%. In the case of a huge shortfall, stakers could lose up to 30% of their stake to cover the deficit. So that's going to basically incentivize people to not screw up their staking infrastructure. So shout out to Aave there, man. There's a lot of stuff going on with Synthetix. There's a lot of stuff going on with Aave, and there's a reason why they are blue chips in that industry. So, got anything, Buff?
Yeah, just going to give you the heads up that Choina posted in LADZ City the link, and I actually just messaged you on Discord. The link, if you could bring it up, it's the Bitcoin stimulus website that shows what if you put your $1,200 stimulus into Bitcoin on April 15th, this is where it would stand currently, and I think that's pretty interesting. I don't want to throw my ex-roommate under the bus here, but when he got his check, I said, bro, just put it into Bitcoin and just chill. And he didn't.
Okay, let's see what that is. I'm going to pin that really quick, guys. Let's see if we can get that. I'm going to throw it up on the screen as well. Might as well, right?
There you
go. Ooh. It was missing an H, but you guys can probably still click in. All right, Bitcoin stimulus, $1,200 stimulus is now worth $6,517, a 443% increase. Interesting. I'm going to go ahead and close this now. I don't know if I put my Bitcoin stimulus check into Bitcoin or my stimulus check into Bitcoin.
I think I put it in some alts. I don't know if they're doing as well.
Choina is explaining Aavegotchi DAO as well as we move into the NFT portion of the episode. Aavegotchi did have a proposal that they were looking to get pushed through. So if you are a Ghost staker, which actually I am, so I need to get on that. Choina, let us know if that proposal is still live. I would love to take part. But definitely, if you are a Ghost staker or you're a Ghost holder, they were looking to get some different projects pushed through. If you do have that link as well, that would be awesome. It looks like Choina's coming through hard for us. Let's see. I've got another one. You're pushing up Rick and Morty on the show. What's going on?
Just getting ready for NFT Live. It's the one thing this week, if we have to talk NFTs, I'm just excited for. I'm a huge Rick and Morty fan, man. This is something special.
I think YouTube got on us last week because we had Rick and Morty in the thumbnail. I really do. It stopped showing our YouTube video right after we launched, and it took a while for it to come back. So, shame on the YouTube guys. Never mind. Thank you YouTube for everything that you do. So we have you, YouTube. Yeah. we have Rick and Morty here. Do you want to go through any of the story?
I'm just curious if they're going to have Justin Roiland actually on in an interview sense, or how they're going to do this. This is tomorrow, January 19th, 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. They will be auctioning off some Rick and Morty stuff. And if I know Rick and Morty, I feel like it's going to sell out quick. And most likely people are going to overbid what they probably should have. But again, this could be some priceless works here. Who knows? Maybe I'll bid in on it too. I've never participated in something on this kind of scale, but it will be fun to follow and see what happens.
I stay away from Nifty Gateway drops because they cost anywhere from the average being like upwards of $50,000. So good luck to everybody in that drop. Rick and Morty I think it's going to set the record. I think my man.
Good reason.
You like it? What did he even say? I'm completely missing it. It was something about apples. Got apples. It was got apples. You like my pitch? My man.
Yes.
Yes. All right. We are off the rails again. So we are going to hit this Deadmau5 piece. Speaking of Nifty Gateway, Deadmau5 has been getting into the NFT game. We saw him do that sale on Wax, and he is now on Nifty Gateway, obviously. So that went for $404,000. I believe there were multiple pieces in this, one of which went for $67,000. Awesome stuff from Deadmau5. I know Ronan was actually talking with him in Clubhouse about NFTs. So it will be interesting to see as he moves forward. Does he, really buy into the NFT scene? I know Ronan was telling us a couple things, and we will see what happens going forward. Really cool little piece of art there. Let's see if we can't see some of these.
This space is so interesting. Who would have thought about a week and a half ago we would say the sentence, yeah, Ronan and Deadmau5 have been hanging out in the Clubhouse.
Yeah.
Crazy times we live in.
It is crazy times we live in. It looks like as well that we have a couple pieces here on Nifty Gateway that look a lot like LADZ. So interesting stuff from Nifty Gateway here. So really cool stuff, and we're going to get moved on here. All right, Flow Network. We've got $1 million in trading volume here. What do I say? Flow is going to be awesome. We are all waiting on Flow. I feel like we've been talking about Flow for the last 2 weeks nonstop on Layer 1 Live as well as NFT Live. They're passing multiple marks. I would love to pull up Crypto Slam here and see if we can't get a running tally. So it looks like they've dropped off to about 400,000 in sales on 24 hours. CryptoPunks is doing 250,000 right now. I can pull that up on the screen, but you can see that over the course, let me see if I can't get it. It doesn't look like this interface is going to allow me to, but over the course of, I think over the course of like 30 days, they've done somewhere in the vicinity of $6 million. $8 million in sales, and that might even be on the low end there. So definitely good stuff from TopShot. We're still waiting on Flow. I know Block2Swap was the decentralized exchange that was running that sale as far as like the first initial distribution. We will continue to see if Flow is going to do that. Cryptocurrent is saying he can't cash out. Not a fan yet. It looks like they actually launched that feature recently, so you can actually cash out of NBA TopShot at this point. I know my man Mike Finch actually took part in a sale early on in NBA TopShot and was able to get some. He recently logged back in. I think he sold one piece for $5,000. So shout out to my man Mike Finch for selling that piece. That was an amazing one. Obviously, Ollie as well is continuing to see success. So definitely some other stuff. So anything from you?
We got a message here in main chat from Choina. Choina's been bringing some alpha here. I'm going to send you this link if you wanted to bring it up. It's NFT related. Besides that, no, actually.
So some more information here. So you guys are coming through with the deposits. So it's deposits and withdrawal questions. It looks like Simba is saying, but it takes 6 to 8 weeks. So apparently the Beard, who took part in a couple of these sales too, decided he was going to try this withdrawal process. It says 6 to 8 weeks, but he actually got it within the first week. So that is that. But we're still waiting for Flow, obviously breaking all these records, and then we see a lot of different IPs kind of coming in there. It'll be interesting. It will definitely be interesting to see and where we see Wax fit into this as Flow launches. Because up to this point, I feel like Wax has had that mantra of being the king of NFTs. They've launched a lot of sales. They've increased the quality. But with Flow launching, you really don't know what's going to happen. So I definitely think Flow has the opportunity to kind of take out Wax a little bit, or at least take some market share.
Yeah, I love competition in this space because then they really have to step up their game. Can't just sit and be comfortable with the model that's working now. They got to keep evolving.
Absolutely. So I think everyone who got in on some of these sales, and this, again, is not investment advice, everyone who got in on a couple of these sales is having the same experience as Thomas there. He said, I bought an NBA TopShot card 5 months ago, all sold last 22 weeks, probably 2 weeks, made a 3x. So interesting stuff there. And that is going to be it for the NFT section. A lot of different stuff that's happening. We have NFT Live on Wednesday as well that we cover the NFT space in detail. So if you want to really think about what's going on with NFTs and you want to kind of talk about that, definitely hit NFT Live as well. There's a ton that's going on in that industry. So that's that, man.
That is that.
Okay.
We are at 73 and climbing. Keep it coming.
Awesome. All right, so the last bit of story here, guys, before we hop on out of here, social tokens and the future of media. Anytime we bring up social tokens, it's awesome because a lot of our community is involved with building out this industry along with us. So it's really cool to see this in The Block. Obviously, The Block is a huge media publication and publisher, and for them to be talking about social tokens, and it is a pretty lengthy article, but as we get down past the problems and the potential solutions through Web3 and the way social money kind of works, we kind of see the things that we get involved with every day. So as you can see, the social token snapshot, there's a couple people that obviously are well known within the crypto industry. Masari's Ryan Selkis, for example, is bullish on the idea of social money and has invested in the platform Roll to capitalize on that trend. We see some collab land mentioned. We see Unite Community. We have a llama mentioned, although that's not our llama. We have a Seed Club mention. Forefront, which we've been involved with many times. We actually were talking with Carlos from Forefront a little while ago. So all of these different things that we're involved with every day, making it onto the block, right? Again, going through it, Collab Land, Unite Community. We have both of those founders in LADZ City right now. We have James Young, who hopped in from Collab Land a little while ago. We also have Alex from Unite Community. I mean, Seed Club's awesome. We just talked with Jess Sloss. So for this to be on the block, it shows really where the industry is going. So I'm going to read from the conclusion here. All the issues around social tokens are far from solved. For instance, how to protect fans who might hold a token as memorabilia from speculators who will ruthlessly devalue that token by selling, how to manage the complexities of decentralized liquidity, ever noisier Discord servers, and airdrops. A creator issuing a social token represents a ton of new and complicated work to do for an unclear payoff. So really, really interesting stuff from the block here, and glad that they're reporting on it. It should be a boon to a lot of you guys here in LADZ City and what we're doing, because we are literally on the forefront of doing exactly what these guys are talking about in this article. I definitely highly suggest reading this article from the block, and it's in the description below.
I'm so excited for social tokens this year and to see which communities that didn't really have the model to grow can now grow with social tokens, and definitely collabing with a lot of communities too. I'm not one to compete. I like to collab. So I'm very excited to see some of these communities form this year that we can help them in any way. And I feel like they'll help us as well.
Absolutely, man. I just realized we've been running for an hour and 40 minutes. That can't be right. Can that be right?
This is 64 minutes ago.
Okay. Hour, yeah. I don't know why my YouTube, maybe we have the YouTube. Oh, yeah. We've been running for an hour and 10 minutes. My bad, guys. My bad. All right. I'm going to pull up the roll link here as well, and then we can get into it. But we appreciate, again, like Buff was talking about it there, social tokens are going to be a very interesting space. We're on the forefront of doing a lot of the things that they're talking about here, and we're only going to improve, but we want your guys' help. So we have different areas in LADZ City where you guys can go make improvement proposals. We are doing a lot of things. I know I had a lot of guys contact me over the weekend. It's the weekend, and sometimes the weekend can get a little busy for me in my IRL kind of space. So don't, if you hit me up and I don't respond, don't be discouraged. I will get to you. Reach out to me all the time. I love hearing from you guys, so please definitely do that. Otherwise, man, it's just the amount of stuff that we've been doing over the past 4 months, absolutely crazy.
And we're just getting started.
All right, you got anything while I wrap this up? I'm going to drop the link here in a second, and we will be good to go.
Yeah, so this is Layer 1. Q's had the show running now for many a months, and it is about to start its next upgrade with a different layout, which will be vMix. So we'll have video plays. We'll have a lot of cool graphics, lower thirds, bring on live guests in the middle of the show. So that's going to be changing real soon. Hopefully, either by the end of this week or starting next week, we'll start to show you guys the new format and give us feedback too. Any ideas that you'd like to see us do with the show? This is a show that happens twice a week, so we want to make sure that you guys definitely want to tune in for it. It helps you throughout the week, both at the beginning of the week and to wrap up at the end of the week. So the show is for all the lads, by the lads. So seriously, your guys' feedback helps us, especially in this next mode that we're going to start building this. Also want to tell my girl to get out of the streets. Out of the street. She won't listen to me, but besides that, thank you guys, lads, so much. This is another great show. I love starting the week like this. At first, I didn't know. I was like, oh, man, jumping on with Layer 1 with you now. Mondays, I'm always kind of like, oh, I got a case of the Mondays. But now, man, I love it. Like right now, I'm ready to go for the rest of the week. This is the best way to start the week, is to get in LADZ City and talk about what's been going on.
I love that, man. Cryptocurrency saying, just getting to know you guys, but getting excited about getting involved. If you want to get involved, head on into our Discord. That's where the community lives. You'll be able to rank up through LADZ City, and all the LADs that you earn are going to be able to be used in there. So speaking of LADZ City, we're dropping this reward link today in LADZ City. So it's going to be in main chat. You cannot get the rewards link here if you are only on the YouTube channel. You need to hop into LADZ City. There will be a link drop there in about 30 seconds, and it will be in LADZ City. Again, main chat. You guys that know already know, and we'll drop it there, and we'll be able to get people who are involved in LADZ the LADZ token. So that's basically how we want to do it. More things to come. I believe we have a announcement about a grant that is going to one of the main LADs here that we're going to get to over the course of this week, and we'll get that blog post out to you guys, as well as a lot of other things coming. So listen, this is just, like we said, third week of January. We're ready to roll. We're getting we got our feet under us. We're ready to kind of announce everything that we've been planning over the last couple weeks. So definitely excited. We will be dropping that roll link here in the chat. Excited to see everybody here today. And, without further ado, happy trading.
Take my eyes, but not the shirt.